So, guys, AJ Styles just left WWE, and definitely it was very anticlimactic for him to lose to Gunter that way. And there are a lot of people talking about where he's going to go next, and there's some people talking about AEW and TNA wrestling. So, I want to do like four videos for you guys, like 10 reasons why AJ Styles should go to AEW, why he should not go to AEW, why he should go to TNA, and why he should not go to TNA. So, in this video, I'm going to talk about why he should go to AEW. The first reason is that he's going to get a big money contract. And, that's also Tony Khan. If there's wrestlers that he knows can actually, perform and they have a lot of, dream matches and other things like that, that's actually really good to. That's actually really good. That's a good paycheck. That's a good contract. The second reason that I have is that there's going to be a lot of dream matches. So like you can do Samoa Joe versus AJ Styles the last time. You can do a match in Ring of Honor where it's him and Black Machismo. You can do him and Christopher Daniels. Like Christopher Daniels comes out of retirement one more time. You could do Will Ospreay, MJF. List goes on and on. The third reason I would say is that he's a veteran and he can teach the younger talent a lot of things. Like for example, like Osprey is in his I think his late 20s, something early 30s. You have people like Kyle Fletcher and a lot of other wrestlers. So he can kind of teach them more of like how to be a professional wrestler. Like, you have to do gimmicks and promos. You have to think about match psychology and what's too much really, because obviously that can really, really help if people choose to listen to him. I would say that my next thing is that his retirement will be on a big stage. It could be Wembley Stadium. They could do something like say, hey, we're going to do a special show in Gainesville, Georgia, or in Atlanta, Georgia for you. The same way like Sting retired in Greensboro, North Carolina, because that meant a lot to him. Or if Dustin Rhodes retires, they may have Dustin Rhodes retire in Texas. So like Tony Khan does retirements very, very well. Um, the next thing that I would say is that he has a job for life because obviously with AJ Styles, he could do something like actually like mentor the AEW roster. He could work with Ring of Honor and say, hey, this needs to be developmental, or he can actually help run Ring of Honor. And he can do a lot of really great things. So there's always like a job for him after his professional wrestling career. Um, I think like a another reason, a sixth reason, is that he could be a semi-retired wrestler, and I think that with AW they probably do that a lot better. Where you can have somebody like Brian Danielson who might retire, who might do some appearances. You have that with Ric Flair as well. You have that with you could do that with AJ Styles, but the point of it is that I think Tony is more accommodating. Where with WWE, they may say something like, "Oh, well, if you're a legend, and you retire, you know what? There's some exceptions like Brock Lesnar, John Cena, Roman Reigns, where they kind of come and go once in a while, and then there's some people like Maven and other ones who, um, or Scott Steiner, where it's almost like okay, you know what? They're not allowed to come back, but they have to. But when there's signings or meet and greets, they have to come back, and they also have to just do what they want, really, which is just signing and meets and greets. Like you could be a semi-retired wrestler and kind of go very far in AW. The next reason is that he can wrestle for New Japan Pro Wrestling. So he definitely has a lot of history there. But you look at somebody like Okada. Okada wrestled in the main event of Wrestle Kingdom 20. Takeshita works in both AW and Wrestle Kingdom. So you can have AJ Styles, go back to Wrestle Kingdom, and I think they would really appreciate that. Um, I think another good thing is that he could also wrestle on Ring of Honor because Ring of Honor was actually a show that he wrestled for. There's a lot of history with all that, and I think another reason, reason number nine, that I would say is that TNA doesn't have any stars because who do you because Mike Santana and Ortiz they may go to Mike Santana may go to WWE. Leon Slater goes to WWE, but like which is a bigger match? Um, if you do Frankie Kazarian versus AJ Styles in a retirement match, or if you do Mike Santana or Leon Slater, any of those three people, or if you have it be Samoa Joe MJF, Kyle Fletcher, Bandito, um, or anybody that's like a major star now, or a person he's wrestled in the past, or a veteran, and whoever. There's a lot of star power in AEW. And I think the final reason is that he got screwed by TNA Wrestling. That we all kind of remember like the two big things that happened. That when he left TNA Wrestling, they said something like, "Okay, you could be the champion for over a year. We'll put you in the Hall of Fame, but you had to take a 60% pay cut." And also the other thing too was that he was kind of sidelined a lot because they wanted to push WWF stars and WCW and ECW stars. And then the other part of it was that honestly, the old saying, "This is the house that AJ Styles built," but Dixie Carter says, "No, this is the house that I finance, really, and you're just an employee." So sometimes in life, as we all learned, that sometimes to you got to say to yourself, you know what, you screwed me over, you fucked me over. Why should I come back, really? And Tony Khan has not done that to AJ Styles yet, really. So it's almost like, what, why would he kind of go back to a company that screwed him over in the first place? And then also, like, well, that may show perseverance, but that also shows that there's no consequences, really. Like, because, like, as I said, he left TNA because TNA really screwed him over. So why should he go back to TNA Wrestling and help build that when what, one of the biggest middle fingers to TNA was him leaving and saying, you know what, you're not paying me right. Um, so um, so you know what, I'm just never going to come back, really. So I think that with AEW, it would be a clean slate, but I also think there would be a point where it's like, okay, he was screwed over in WWE, he was screwed over in TNA Wrestling, so why give them another shot, really? Like, what, you fucked me once, and that's that, really. Um, so yeah, those are my 10 reasons.